everyone, CinnamonLol here, and welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at a Hollow Knight speedrun race, and we're going to be commentating that speedrun race. Now this speedrun race is a little bit different than your normal Hollow Knight speedrun. This speedrun race, our goal is to defeat Dung Defender and collect the Defenders Crest. Three things that you should know though before we get into the video. First of all, NickNog and I are not professional speedrunners. We did this just for fun, and that's kind of why we did Dung Defender % in the first place, because you don't have to jump through too many hoops to actually get the run completed. Second, the run actually starts when we click our files rather than just a normal Hollow Knight speedrun start, and the run ends when we pick up the Defenders Crest. And finally, the loser of this race will have to put on this as their profile picture for a week on Discord after the competition. So, yeah, there's a lot of stakes here. And I know I said finally, but one last thing I need to throw in here. If you want to find the full run without any editing whatsoever, you can find that down in the description. We started the game, and most people would look at this and be like, okay, 40 seconds in, and you're right here. That's, not that great, but of course we went through all the menus and stuff, and somehow I gained an upper hand on NickNog during the menus. I mean, I know that we're not going to be picture perfect. Like, me saying go is going to be a little bit different. Like, we're both going to start at different times, but I have a major lead on NickNog at the start. Of course, that kind of goes away pretty quickly, but I just thought it was something that I'd point out. And speaking of it going away very quickly, NickNog is literally, like, ahead of me. Or we're, like, basically in sync right now. Yeah, we are really close to each other. We ended up going back and forth a lot during this recording, and that's just kind of how a speedrun race works. Like, some of us, like, we have better times at certain parts and worse times at other parts and stuff like that. But yeah, no. For the beginning part, like, it's mostly just platforming, and there's not too many ways that we can mess up. When we get to, like, the full Snipe fight and everything like that, that's usually when we start separating a little bit. So here we both go into the Aspid fight. Now, there is a strategy that you can use. You can see I attempted it there. I failed at it. But you can actually use that spike that falls from the ceiling, and you can hit it and actually kill both Aspids in one hit. It actually takes 3 nail hits to kill them, which is why it's such a pain. So, yeah, I attempted to do that. I've never successfully done it, and I didn't successfully do it in this run, but I've just kind of kept practicing it every time we would do a run. We were kind of jumping around during this, like, okay, do we want to take it safe? Do we want to, like, try and get the lead or whatever? Because it's, with this run, it's more about not losing. It's kind of like, say, take the example of, like, I don't need to run faster than the bear, I just need to run faster than you. We're not good speedrunners, and I said that I would mention this many times during this recording, but it was basically just like, alright, I just gotta beat you. I don't have to have an amazing time, I just need to beat you. And there's a lot riding on this too. I don't think I mentioned it in the intro segment, but the loser of this competition actually has to put on a Zodboat profile picture. So if you're watching this when it comes out, it'll go on the loser about an hour after this comes out. And yeah, as for the full Snipe fight, you can see that I have 2 masks and I didn't take the time to heal. The reason I did this was because if you kill full Snipe, the death animation actually gives you time to heal up 3 masks, and it doesn't waste any of your time. It's just kind of time that you would be standing otherwise. So yeah, I always try and keep at like if I'm at 2 masks, I'm not gonna heal. When I got to 1 mask there, I was like, okay, I actually need to heal a mask. And normally I don't take damage during this fight, but sometimes it just happens and you can't really do anything about it. And you can see there, I literally just blanked. And I said in my commentary, like, what? My brain just turned off for a sec there. I don't even know what happened there. And I don't even have anything post-commentary to say about it. It just kind of happened. I know NickNog and I talked about this, and I wanted to mention it right here, but the thing about this run that's weird with speedrun racing is like, in a big run or whatever, where it's like, say, let's just say an 8-hour speedrun. There's a lot of room in there for people to mess up and still come back. With this speedrun, it goes so quick that if you mess up majorly on something, it's basically a game over for you. And death is like that a lot in this, so for us, like, we're being very cautious, and that's because we both know that if we die, it's basically game over and the other person wins. And there you go, NickNog just got the city crest, so I am leading at this point, but NickNog does end up catching up right around when we get the fireball, aka Vengeful Spirit. I don't know why I call it fireball all the time, it just stuck, okay? Speaking of the city crest, I just want to mention this right here, but NickNog, on the first run we did that we recorded of this, NickNog actually forgot to grab the city crest. I don't know how he did it, you can ask him yourself, but he forgot to grab the city crest, and he literally made it all the way to the thing where you put the city crest in to get into City of Tears, and he's like, Where is it? I don't know where it is. And he went all the way back or whatever, and we didn't cut the run. We just recorded the entire thing, but we were like, okay, we're gonna re-record this, but because like I said, we were doing it for the entertainment, and we actually we had multiple runs where we would both fail, or one of us would fail really badly, and we'd like, okay, we're gonna re-record it, and we both agreed that we wanted to have a recording that was like, we both were at Dung Defender at the same time, and that's what we ended up getting with this recording, and it was like really hype. And so, yeah, that's what we ended up getting. And by the way, I just want to point out that overall fight that I did there was really bad. Those rolly things sometimes just get me, and that was one of the times that they just got me. Yeah, NickNog's at 1 mask. That is not good. And I know, I saw him react, and yeah, there you go. I saw him react to having 1 mask, and I glanced at his screen because we had Discord up so we could both see each other's screen and kind of see where the other was at. And I just walked completely past the bench. So that was a great mistake that I kind of had there. But yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. So now I have the lead on NickNog again, and one thing that I'm doing right now that I didn't mention I did in the last section, but I did do it, was I was gathering soul from all the enemies that I was kind of passing by that, like, I wasn't losing that much time from taking them out, but I did get soul from them, and that was so I could just shoot 3 fireballs off and not have to spend time waiting for a little rolly guy to come out, and yeah, there you go, like, look at how fast that went. So now we come into the fireball room, and I call it the fireball room because there's a trick that most speedrunners do, where they, like, shoot multiple fireballs or just 1 fireball, and they end up getting onto that ledge without even having to use this bug trick. Now, I did the bug trick really fast, so it was fine, but I did mess up the fireball trick. Now, to be fair, I've never done the fireball trick successfully. Should I have practiced it for this run? Yes. But, I mean, I just kind of did it every time I would do a run or a recorded run or a practice run. I would just kind of try it out. And that time I got close. I feel like if I had a little bit more soul, I could have gotten it. But the thing is, like, you can do it. If you're good enough, you can do it with just one fireball. And I didn't get it. So that's okay, though. Like, the bug went really clean for me. And that's, like, the other alternative option for that. It's not as fast, but it's still way faster than going, like, the downward path. Alright, and there we go, past Zote. Bye-bye, Zote. I think I mentioned in NickNog, I don't know if it was this recording or not, but I did say at some point we should do a kill Zote %. I assume someone's already done that, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to kill Zote? But, yeah, that would be a fun speedrun. I mean, the fireball trick is necessary then, so I'd actually have to learn it if I did that, but yeah. So now we come into the Hornet Fight, and NickNog is just in that little Zote killing area. That's what I call it, actually. But you can see right there, I was mashing the dialogue, and I clicked A again, which A is mapped to Fireball for me. Probably not the smartest thing ever, but yeah, I was mashing the dialogue, and I ended up doing a Fireball. And I ended up missing so many fireballs in this, and I think it was just because I was, like, anxious or whatever. Like, I was like, okay, I have the lead, I just need to do this fight as quickly as possible. And to be fair, I wasn't so anxious where I was stupid, because I never got hit during this fight. The problem was me not hitting Hornet, because she also didn't get hit. I mean, she did by my nail, but, like, I failed a lot of fireball shots. I think, like, 4 or 5 I counted when I looked at this originally, so yeah, that was a problem, but overall, I feel like the fight went pretty clean. Like, not getting hit is a great thing, for me at least. So here I go with the Mothwing Cloak, and NickNog, I think, just finished the fight, and right there, yeah, I was looking at his screen again. I don't know why I did that during this run, but I was like, yeah, let's look at his screen while I'm doing platforming. That's a wonderful idea. So now here I go into Fog Canyon, and for Fog Canyon, I definitely could have mapped it out a little bit better. Overall, I had mapped it out better than I was doing initially in my practice runs, because I guess that's how practice works. You practice it and you get better. And you see I get hit there. I would say I usually have the first section mapped out a little bit better than the second, but I think in this, I don't end up getting hit in the second session, which it surprised me. It surprised me. It was a pleasant surprise, but yeah, so I get through here, and overall, nothing really to say about Fog Canyon other than I usually suck at it, but that was better than usual, so that's my commentary for that. That little jump that I failed, that's hilarious. I like that. So yeah, now I come into this little area and I heal for good measure. I think overall during this run, I tried to stay generally pretty cautious. mainly because the recording before this, I was really not cautious, and it cost me the run. So that's kind of where that came from. So now I'm in the Mantis Village, and you saw I got hit there. I think I could have cleaned up this part a little bit. Not as far as killing the Mantises goes, but I think, like, killing the Mantises less. Because I spent a lot of time just trying to take them out or whatever, because I've had times before where I get into this little corner area, and the flying ones, just with no regard to social distancing whatsoever, just come in and pile up, and it's such a pain. And I've ended up having runs get ended because of that. So I started just trying to kill them and keep them away from me. Does this lose me time? Yes, I feel more safer doing it. But if I was to do the run again, I would probably end up trying to kill them less and just getting better at, like, evading them. Or just using spells. And by spells, I mean fireball more. Just do that. So I realize I haven't really talked about NickNog in a little bit. And by the way, that was embarrassing. But yeah, this is the point where NickNog starts to actually make gangs on me. He's just coming out of Mantis Village, and so you know how I didn't hit the lever on the bridge or whatever? I spent so many runs clicking the lever, and then I was like, wait a sec, I don't need to click that lever. It's literally the same thing as the charm notch. I was just like, I'm so used to doing it. It's like automatic. And grabbing Geo as well, it's like, okay, just grab the Geo. I need it. You don't. You really don't. So, yeah, that's just kind of some cleanup things. So now we're in the City of Tears, and speaking of NickNog catching up, NickNog is literally, like, right behind me. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. he caught up a lot, and I haven't realized that he's catching up yet, so I'm kind of just, like, taking my time, kind of being a little bit cautious with it, like, oh yeah, we're good. NickNog is far behind me, especially with, like, these Brava guys up here. By the way, I call them Brava guys, just deal with it. But I was just like, alright, I'm just gonna kill all these because they are a pain and I don't want to deal with them. And I think right around here is when I'm like, wait a sec, how is NickNog right there? How has this happened? And that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going. And I start panicking. And I'll show you the little tell of when I'm panicking. You don't need to hear my voiceover to know when I'm panicking, because whenever I'm panicking, I'll go up to a door and I'll be like spam clicking against the door that's not opening because it has to go through an animation. But yeah, right here. See me mashing against the door? That's how you know that I'm panicking. And I was panicking at this point because I'm like, NickNog's catching up to me. This is not good. And this part of the run that's coming up is also a pain, so I'm like slightly panicking because of that, and I panic there, and just like a lot of things could have been avoided if I had just kept a level head. And I gotta say, I respect speedrunners who can just like have so much riding on their thing. I mean, I had a lot riding on this run. I mean, a Zoppo profile picture, but just like people who do like world records and stuff, there's so much stress there. Just being able to do that and keep a level head and not mess up, that's just so impressive to me. So shoutouts to people who can do that, and shoutouts to people that are actually good at speedrunning, because that ain't me. And now the dreaded city storerooms. I hate this part of the run so much, and you'll see why even more when I actually get there. So let me explain this a little bit. These Brava guys pile up so much, it is so annoying because it takes like 5 or 6 nail swings to actually kill them. So what's the point in killing them? There's like 5 or 6 of them. So I'm just like, okay, I just need to dash around, and I had 5 masks going into here, and by the time I left, I had like 0, and I ended up healing a lot. So you can see they're all piling up. The harpoon ones, easily, or the spear ones, whatever you want to call it, easily my least favorite of the enemies in Hollow Knight. They're so annoying, the long distance and stuff. And I know I mentioned when I was healing at that one point, I'm like, one of them's gonna hit me, isn't it? But yeah, another thing that's really annoying with this is when you get to the simple key, and we're not even there yet. Look at me struggling, and NickNog over there, NickNog just schmoovin'. But yeah, with the simple key, it's so annoying because when you pick up the simple key, there's an animation to go with it, and the Brava guys can pile up in this room here, and you literally can't do anything. And you'll actually see right here when I'm just like, alright, it's far enough away, I'm gonna pick it up. And then I get hit. Luckily, I was able to pick it up, but yeah. So NickNog, in this point, actually just completely schmooves and gets out of there ahead of me. So this is how NickNog got the lead on me, and it was a terrible experience. So NickNog actually is like 15, 20 seconds ahead of me at this point, and NickNog just schmooving for the elevator. So remember how I said that you can tell when I'm panicking? You're about to see me panicking because It went from, oh my goodness, NickNog is catching up to me, to, oh my goodness, NickNog is in front of me. And I'm going to put a screen cap of that moment on screen because it was stupid and I don't know how it happened. If anyone wants to explain to me how this happened, but okay, look at this shot right here. That happened during the run and I was like, what the heck? My hitbox was literally in there, and now that I have the footage, I can actually look at that and be like, yeah, the hitbox was in there. How did that happen? And I have no idea. And there you can see, like, I dashed forward and then was like, oh, I gotta hit the lever. And that's because I'm panicking. But yeah, literally, like, I caught up to NickNog somehow, even though I was panicking and making little mistakes. But I am still, like, yeah, like 15 seconds behind him. I don't know. I'm closer now, I would think. I really don't know. But we end up getting to Dung Defender at literally the same time, and boy, is it hype. And at this point, NickNog and I agree that we are not gonna talk during this run because we were both like, oh my god, this is actually like a good run. What the heck? We're both doing well. We're not gonna mess this up. So we both agreed to not talk. And that's what we did. And both of us successfully getting that nail swing at the beginning, which is something that you can do actually when the Dung Defender lands. You can actually get a nail swing off before the little animation at the start. And I'm looking at both our footage, and we actually started Dung Defender at right around the same time. So I must have got a little bit of time during the like parkour and everything. And I want to mention this, but my start of this fight is really bad. I ended up making a lot of mistakes, and I'm so glad that we decided to not talk because I probably would have made even more if I was talking, because it's so easy to get tilted. That goes back to my conversation about like speedrunners working under pressure. There's so much riding on this. I mean, okay, I'll stop making that joke. But yeah, yeah, the working under pressure is just, there's so much to it, and when I get hit, I end up getting hit both physically in the game and mentally, where I'm like, oh shoot. Yeah, it's around this point that I actually start thinking and doing stuff well, because I kind of am like, okay, I'm actually thinking about the fight. Things are happening, but I need to just not get stressed out. And I think one thing that like makes me more stressed with this was like a recording thing where this is the first time that things had lined up where we were doing the fight at the same exact time together. So there was the stress of I want to win, and the stress of if one of us dies, it's not going to be a very good recording. And I will spoil it a little bit. None of us die. I don't know what my words were there, but yeah. And I guess I just kind of ruined the tension at that moment when I had 1 HP. And now I have 1 HP again, so when I said that I improved at this point in the run, I guess maybe I didn't. Maybe I did kind of do trash. And there you go. NickNog wins. I didn't really... I wasn't really watching NickNog's screen. I can't speak! I wasn't watching NickNog's screen as a reaction, but look at that. Literally, I think NickNog's time was... Let me look at that for a sec. This is the only time I'm scrolling back in the run. 28:51. And I finished mine at... Well, actually, picking up the Defenders Crest makes it so it's a little bit more time. Let's see. So that's 20 seconds right there. And, okay, 22 seconds. So NickNog did the fight. I think NickNog came into the room like 5 seconds before me. So NickNog actually did the fight about... I'm just averaging a number like 15 seconds faster than me, so shoutouts to NickNog. I mean, in Dung Defender %, he did the fight faster than me, so yeah. Anyway, it was a great thing to do this. I had a lot of fun, but yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the little commentary of this, and this is the point where NickNog and I are both like looking to see what our times are, because this is a digital timer that we put in post or whatever, and again, you can check out this version of the video, in the description. I will put a link to it unedited completely. And yeah, we were both looking at our times on our files because we added this in digitally in post. So yeah, that was basically the run. So I do want to say at this point, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to NickNog for joining me on this run. It was a lot of fun, and I hope to try the run again sometime, because I'm nowhere near a good speedrunner, but I have improved a lot. I mean, my original times for this were like 50 minutes, and now we're down to 28 minutes, which it's not a great improvement. I mean, well, actually, it is a great improvement. it's not a great time, but it was a great improvement. And I want to also just say that if you're someone like me who's not like a speedrunner at all, and you're thinking about maybe getting into Hollow Knight speedrunning or it interests you in some way, try out this run. I mean, for me, it was it was a lot simpler than, say, doing like the full run of the game or something like that, because there's so much stuff to learn and everything in that. And this is like a starter thing because you only have 3 bosses to complete, and you can just kind of do Dung Defender %, I guess. I mean, we started this run because we wanted to have something simpler because we knew we both weren't speedrunners, and Dung Defender % was our answer. I don't know if that was the greatest answer, but I mean, Dung Defender is such a good boss. So yeah, again, thank you all for watching this little commentary video. I hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, this is CinnamonLol, rolling out. Bye!